dawn in the city of Seville, Spain, Isabel starts her day by doing the household chores. Then, just before her two sons wake up, she prepares their breakfast. After she finished cooking her son's meal, she spent a moment of her time reminiscing. Isabel is longing for the safe return of her husband, Alvar Perez. It was the year 1519 when Alvar Perez embarked on a perilous expedition with Ferdinand Magellan. Alvar is the captain of one of the ships that composed Magellan's fleet. Their mission is to find a western route to the Spice Islands somewhere in modern-day Indonesia. Years earlier, in one of the social functions of the city, Alvar Perez met Isabel. The people of Seville knew her as the daughter of a very wealthy Portuguese businessman. On that occasion, Isabel was the shining star of the night. She is a captivating, strikingly beautiful young woman who attracted the eyes of the male gender of that occasion. One of the guests at the function was Alvar Perez, a young Spanish explorer who worked with Ferdinand Magellan. They were planning to embark on an expedition to find an alternate western route to the Spice Islands. When their eyes met, Alvar was instantaneously drawn to Isabel. She was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen in Seville. Isabel was intrigued by Alvar's quiet demeanor. She could sense a powerful authority behind this quiet demeanor. They were both magnetized to each other that they talked for hours that evening. Time just blurred away, and before the evening was over, they realized that they had a lot in common. They both shared a love of adventure and exploration. As the evening drew to a close, Alvar asked Isabel to marry him, and she said yes to his plans. It was a whirlwind courtship. But after the gathering, when Isabel was alone, she was fraught with worry. A deep secret is worrying her. That night, she had not slept a bit. One day, Alvar received a letter from a rival explorer. Vasco da Gama's letter contains a very shocking revelation. Vasco da Gama warns Alvar to be careful with Isabel. She is not what she appears to be. Isabel is not the daughter of a wealthy Portuguese businessman, but rather the daughter of a pirate who has been terrorizing the seas, according to Vasco da Gama. Before we go on with the full story, I also want to draw your attention to a product that I purchased recently. I found it to be very valuable and could potentially help people in their romantic journey. Full disclosure: for every order, I earn an affiliate commission that supports this channel. Have you ever wondered about your soulmate's look and personality? I was curious too, so I ordered my soulmate's sketch drawn by a psychic, and within 48 hours it was in my inbox. When I viewed it, my hair stood on its ends because I was looking at the sketch of my partner's face. We have been living together happily for 25 years already. Start your romantic journey now and click the link in the description to uncover your destined love. So let's start with the story. The information from Vasco da Gama devastated Alvar, forcing him to confront Isabel. Isabel in turn admitted to the truthfulness of the information with tears. She had been hiding and trying to keep her distance from her father's illicit activity. But she admits she fell in love with Alvar and wanted a fresh start, but the past had caught up with her. Alvar knows the possible consequences. Her love for Isabel could ruin his reputation and jeopardize his mission. It is almost certain that he would not be able to secure an appointment for any voyage if he marries Isabel. But he also realizes that Isabel is not responsible for his father's actions, and he is genuinely in love with Isabel. After much contemplation, Alvar decided to confront Isabel's father, hoping to convince him to give up the old ways and seek a legitimate way of life. Alvar set out on a perilous journey to make contact with Isabel's father. After facing dangers on the high seas and near-death encounters, Alvar was able to talk to him in person. After much persuasion from Alvar, and because of his love for his only daughter, Isabel's father agreed to renounce his way of life. Alvar succeeded in his mission. With the help of Alvar's influence, the king pardoned him in return for his promise to undertake exploratory missions on behalf of the Spanish crown. Isabel's father is now a full-fledged explorer for the Spanish crown. With the problem solved, Alvar and Isabel got married, and this marriage resulted in 2 sons for the couple. On the day that Alvar Perez sailed with Ferdinand Magellan on an exploration to find a western route to the Spice Island, Isabel's thoughts were filled with anxiety about Alvar's safety. She spent sleepless nights worrying about him. Alvar had left her a promise when he left that he would write to her and their children. One day, as Isabel tended to the laundry by the river, a messenger arrived with a letter in hand. It was Alvar Perez's distinctive handwriting, and her heart skipped a beat as she tore it open. His words spilled onto the page. Alvar had fully described in detail the wonders that he had witnessed on his exploration. He also recounted the battles that they had won, but in every line, he emphasized his love for her and their children, and his unwavering determination to return to them. Isabel clung to these letters as lifelines, finding comfort in Alvar's words during the long, lonely nights. The letters became her only connection to him. She treasured them with all her heart, and they became her sanctuary, an assurance that their love could withstand the trials of distance and time. Years passed, and Alvar's letters arrived less frequently. The world was vast, and its dangers were many. But Isabel held on to hope, imagining the day when she would see her beloved husband again, his arms wrapped tightly around her. Then, one day, a Spanish civil officer came looking for Isabel. Upon hearing that a Spanish civil officer came looking for her, she was overcome with anxiety that she could feel her knees buckle under her. The few steps became an insurmountable distance. Her knees were buckling and her heart was thumping wildly, almost deafening her. The officer informs her of a tragedy. Ferdinand Magellan and some of his men, including Alvar, were killed in the Philippines in a battle against the brave warrior chief Lapu-Lapu. Isabel's cry of anguish reverberated throughout the neighborhood. The tragic news shattered Isabel. Her grief threatened to consume her. But Isabel knows she has to be tough for the sake of her sons. She wants a better future for her sons. After much contemplation, she resolved to transform their small home into an inn to earn something for her children. The inn thrived, and Isabel's children grew into fine young men. She never remarried and devoted the rest of her life to raising her 2 children. The eldest son, Francisco, followed in the footsteps of his father. He later became a distinguished naval officer. The youngest son, Luis, pursued the spiritual realm. With encouragement from his mother, he entered the priesthood. Luis devoted his life to rallying the cause of the indigenous people, a stark contrast to his father's love of exploration. But his sermons echoed the wisdom he learned from his father's experience. Though they pursued different vocations, both Francisco and Luis carried their parents' love within their lives and became a testament to the indomitable human spirit, a testament to the enduring legacy of Alvar and Isabel.